And so one of the reasons I got into crypto was I think this is the most progressive industry. It's like progressive plus libertarian, some weird, like, funny baby of left and right. But it has the capacity to really bring money and resource to the masses in a much more fair way, right? And so it hasn't yet. It's made small inroads, but really it hasn't lived up to its potential yet.
Yeah.
But that's the reason I got into the thing. I think when the ETF shows up, that will be the weapon of choice.
Yeah.
Why? Because it's easy. It'll have liquidity. It's the same brokerage account. They'll get margin on it.
Yep.
And so I think you'll see a lot more both long-short equity funds, macro funds, institutional funds participate because it's easy.
Mike Novogratz reflects on the year's journey, starting with Bitcoin's price at $16,500 and rising to over $44,000 at the time of the recording. He shares his relief and satisfaction with the recovery, contrasting it with the previous year's challenges. Novogratz recalls receiving advice from a mentor, an investing legend, emphasizing the importance of resilience and humility, especially during the highs of the market. The conversation also touches on the challenges faced by the crypto industry, including the scandal involving Sam Bankman-Fried and the perception of crypto as a potential fraud. Novogratz discusses the importance of trust in decentralized systems and how the blockchain, initially seen as a trust machine, was perceived as a fraud machine due to centralized business failures. He highlights the resilience and patience of the crypto community in addressing these challenges and restoring faith in the industry. Novogratz also addresses the political landscape in Washington, D.C., mentioning bipartisan agreement on certain crypto-related bills. He expresses hope for the industry's ability to contribute to a more equitable financial system, despite the challenges and resistance it faces. As we now get into the video, don't hesitate to hit that like button, subscribe, and drop your comments below.
In 30 years, the rich-poor gap has just gotten immense from the time I graduated from college. In the last 12 years, the cost of a house in America has gone from $190,000 to $390,000. It's harder and harder for people in the bottom 70% to actually fulfill their dreams. And I thought we need to do some more radical things. I don't think we should do them inefficiently. I don't think we should do them where markets don't play a part. And so you can call me progressive, you can call me center left. I think crypto had that capacity to help. I think it still does. What has been freaking infuriating is it's the progressive wing that doesn't want to see it that way. I tell you, I've been in D.C. a lot recently. Yeah. There's bipartisan agreement, quite frankly, on the two different bills that are already there, on the stablecoin bill and on the…
Right, there'll be some push and pull, but like people would put something forth if they could.
100%. And it is this small cabal that's stopping it. Most people you meet with, they don't see this as partisan.
That's good to hear, because I was going to ask what this wing of the Democratic Party's problem, what is their problem with crypto? I don't understand
I have not gotten it explained to me, and I've asked a ton of people. It's only used for bad stuff. It's only rich guys made money. The poor guys lost all their money. I was like, that's actually not the case. This is the first revolution where it started with the little guy. Matter of fact, I was like one of the only institutional. Dan Moore, there were a few players that got in early.
Right.
Most of the people got in early. You never heard their names. I remember I used to have conversations with some of the biggest fund managers in the world, right? Ray Dalio is a perfect example. I remember trying to orange pill that guy over and over. It made zero sense for a $160 billion hedge fund to have a position in an asset that was big.
Right.
And so only at $500 billion, $1 trillion and real liquidity does any asset make sense for big portfolios, for the real big ones.
Right.
And so we have grown into, we're now big enough for anyone. We weren't when we were a $200 billion asset. We just weren't, right? Or a $100 billion asset. But as a $1 trillion asset, it's now big enough for almost anyone. And so what's the difference between Bitcoin and gold? They got the same macro story. And so I can talk about macro. The gold adoption story happened over 3,000 years. It ain't going anywhere. The Bitcoin adoption story is in it's the second decade, and it's picking up steam. And so what I mean by adoption is that people see it as a viable asset. What drives me frickin' crazy is when Elizabeth Warren or Jamie Dimon or, at times Janet Yellen said, well, I don't really see value in it. I was like, the gall, the arrogance that since you don't see value, there's no value. But Abby Johnson, oh, she must be stupid, right? Stan Druckenmiller, stupid. Ray Dalio, dumb. Jeff Yost, dumb. Pete Briger, dumb. Like the arrogance, you're looking at some of the best investors that have walked this earth that say, hey, there's some value in it, right? Bitcoin's value is the social construct. I say it has value, you say it has value, therefore it has value. I don't care what Elizabeth Warren says. Quite frankly, I don't care what Jamie Dimon says.
Right.
And they have been proven wrong, and the group of people that care about it have been proven right.
Don't think you're smarter than the market.
Yeah.
The market values
And listen,
it.
you can decide I don't want to buy it. Warren Buffett decided he
Totally.
didn't like it. Charlie Munger, God rest his soul, passed away hating Bitcoin. They were wrong in the time frame to operate on. It doesn't matter. Charlie Munger made so much money. I'm sure he passed away with the biggest smile on his face. He was a great mentor to people. You don't have to be in every You don't have to be in every asset, right? I wish I bought Apple stock 20 years ago. I remember buying a bunch of it. I sat with Peter Thiel one day, and he convinced this group of people that Apple, Microsoft, Google, these weren't tech stocks, they were monopolies. And I was like, it just clicked. Every once in a while, an idea clicks. And so I went out and bought a bunch of it, all of it. And it had a great year. They were probably all up 30% that year. And I sold them all. That was 2014.
Yeah. How has it done since then?
It's shocking. Once you realize something is a monopoly, you never sell it.
Mike Novogratz further discusses the progress and future expectations for tokenization and decentralized systems in the crypto space. He acknowledges that while some anticipated developments haven't materialized as quickly as hoped, significant strides have been made, particularly with stablecoins and on-chain treasuries. Novogratz believes that the adoption of these technologies might happen gradually and then suddenly, likening it to a tipping point phenomenon. Looking ahead to 2024 and 2025, Novogratz predicts these years will be crucial for the crypto industry. He expects that regulation, which is essential for the industry's growth, might not be fully realized until 2025. The upcoming election and subsequent administrative changes are likely to influence the timeline for regulatory developments.
2024 is going to be, I think, an important year. I really think 2025 is the year where crypto goes.
Oh, interesting.
Maybe not in price, but I think it takes that long, right? We won't have regulation, I don't think, in 2024. We might, 5-10% chance, we'll get it in 2025. Yeah. And we need regulation. We just do. And listen, the election is in 11 months, and so then it takes 4 or 5 months. And so you're really mid-25. I think that's probably when you see these tokenization things start getting to critical mass. And so in some ways, 2024 is going to look a little bit like 2023, with the exception of this giant fire hose called ETF, bringing new capital into the space. And what that capital does is allows people the time to keep investing in the projects that actually change the way people live, right? Bitcoin can change the way people save and protect their wealth, but it's not going to change the way the financial system operates, right? That's the plumbing of all this decentralized DeFi stuff and quasi-DeFi stuff and stable coins and tokenized Apple shares and tokenized Stradivarius violins and tokenized whatever.
Right.
The Bitcoin and other money coming into the space allows me to hire people. It allows my peers to hire people.
Right.
It gives us breathing space to actually build out this revolution. And so thanks to Larry Fink. And actually, to be fair, I got to give it a shout to the Grayscale team for fighting that. And that lawsuit really was like, I don't think the SEC is doing this because they want to.
While the chances are slim, a spot Bitcoin exchange-traded fund, ETF, being rejected this month will most likely be due to the Securities and Exchange Commission wanting more time rather than a flat-out rejection, says Bloomberg ETF analyst Eric Balchunas. Speaking to Cointelegraph, Balchunas says while he and fellow ETF analyst James Seifert continue to peg a 90% chance of approval by January 10th, they haven't raised the odds past the number largely due to this concern. I would say if we don't see it in the next 2 weeks, it's more because they need more time. We haven't gone further than 90% because of the possibility. I don't think that we're going to see a full-out denial, said Balchunas, noting that the 10% chance includes both scenarios. However, Balchunas says the amount of time and effort put in by the SEC and Bitcoin ETF issuers means it's unlikely that a Bitcoin ETF would be rejected outright at the last moment. This would be the rug pull of the decade. Everybody put in a lot of work in this, especially over the holidays. Sadistic might not even be strong enough a word for it. Vetle Lunde, an analyst from crypto research firm K33 Research, offered a similar outlook to Balchunas, but pinned the chances of an ETF rejection at just 5% in a January 2nd market. Meanwhile, Balchunas believes that should the SEC issue an outright denial, fund issuers might follow in the footsteps of crypto asset manager Grayscale and launch separate lawsuits against the regulator. People have spent too much money and tried too hard to give up now, so yeah, it would not be over. I don't even think there'd be a cooling-off period this time. I think there'd be hell, said Balchunas. Public comments have continued to be submitted to the request for feedback on the filings, with 2 as recent as January 2nd requesting the ETFs be rejected outright. The most recent letter claimed that Bitcoin's decentralized nature and ability to circumvent traditional financial channels could make it attractive to authoritarian regimes looking to evade sanctions and exert greater control over their citizens. Do you think the recent letter has credibility, or is it just a full-blown FUD on the Bitcoin ETF approval? Let us know what you think in the comment section below. Also, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Thanks for watching.
Hey Savvy Finance enthusiasts, massive shout out for being the heartbeat of Savvy Finance. Your support has been the wind beneath our wings, and we can't express our gratitude enough. Now buckle up because we've got an exclusive deal just for you. Ever wanted a slice of the action? We're offering a golden opportunity to own part of our YouTube channel's potential future revenue. This isn't just an investment, it's an invitation to be a part of our story. Investing means you're not just an investor, you will be a participant in the future of Savvy Finance. No cheesy lines, just a genuine call to embark on this journey together. But wait, there's more. Your mission, should you choose to accept it, become a Savvy ambassador. Share our videos on every platform: Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. Your shares amplify our visibility, potentially translating to more views and more YouTube revenue. Here's the kicker. If our viewership increases, we would not be just growing financially. We would be making a tangible impact by spreading valuable financial education. Now the icing on the cake. Invest and you'll score exclusive access to our private Savvy Finance Discord. Here you can chat with Savvy Finance, swap ideas with fellow investors, and be at the forefront of exciting developments. Click on the link below to register your Gigastar account. You can also find the link to my offering page in the description below. Get your Gigastar account ready, review the offering details, and let's embark on this thrilling venture together. To the incredible Savvy community, thank you for being the backbone of our success. Your journey is my journey, and together, we're creating waves. Cheers.